What is going on to you, crew? Welcome back to another episode of the Totally Unqualified podcast. We are up to episode 30, and I am joined, of course, by my lovely co-hosts, Jake Maltese and Luke Rosenthal. How are we doing today, boys?
Pretty outstanding. Coming off the best win of the season, best win I could remember. I couldn't be more ecstatic. I've been smiling for the past hour, and I'm severely sleep deprived. That's what I should. Yeah. So yeah.
You know you're sleep deprived when you can't think of the word.
Yeah, when you can't sleep.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm doing phenomenal too. Not only did I get my Thursday night football pick right, but Knicks marched into Chicago and beat that team. Chicago made it a little close at the end. The game was, a little bit more dominant on the Knicks side than the score shows. It was 104-103. Just proving the fact that New York pizza will always be better than that deep dish shit they got over in Chicago.
So disgusting.
So yeah, I'm having a great time right now.
Awesome. Well, I didn't have a team win tonight, so I'll just continue to ride the high of the Hornets being 4-1 also.
Hey, not too bad.
But we're killing it right now. But we've got some awesome stuff to get into in this episode, guys. First of all, we're of course going to get into Thursday Night Football. Then after that, we've got a little Halloween stuff for you guys, being that this episode is just before Halloween is coming up. And then we are going to end it with our game picks, of course, for this week. But before that, if you are listening on Apple Podcasts or if you are watching on YouTube, be sure to rate and review. Make sure to leave a like. It helps us out a ton. We very much appreciate it. And now we're going to get into the Guess That Player. Jake has taken the lead. He's overtaken Luke. Luke, this is your time to tie it back up. I obviously can't participate, but it doesn't matter because I'm way behind anyway.
What's the score? It's 13 to 12 to 3?
Yes.
Okay.
And Adam Rank has won.
Adam Rank does have one.
He is on the scoreboard.
Sure.
We got to get him back on soon so he can try to catch up.
He will. He promised he would be on again.
Cannot wait.
All right. Are you ready, boys?
Let's do this.
Always ready.
Feeling dangerous.
And we're not going to do it the way that we have been where you guys, ask me questions. I'm going to go back to old school this time, and I'm just going to give you guys some stuff, and you're going to guess from there.
Let's do this.
And it is an NFL player.
Okay.
He was a third round draft pick in the 2010 draft.
2010. Jesus.
2010. He is currently on his fifth team in the NFL. He went to SMU.
Emmanuel Sanders.
It is Emmanuel Sanders.
Let's go. Let's go. Come on.
Damn.
I probably should have waited on the SMU. There's not a whole lot of
the
SMU
colleges always give
around.
him away to Jake, man. He's on that shit.
That's the part that I feel like. Well, I don't know. Some of them it helps me out a lot. And some of them it fucking throws me off. So,
Yeah.
Jake continues this lead. He's up by a couple scores now.
Good call.
14 to 12 to 3. I'm pulling away. I won't be competing next time. So you guys got that.
I'm basically right on your heels, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Listen,
yeah. Gage
we're gonna have to hit a reset at some point, maybe like the end of the year or something.
Yeah, I would say end of 2021. Well, we got to hit a reset.
Down for that.
Yeah.
Before it's just hopeless for me, before it's too far gone. All right. And with that, we're going to hop right into Thursday Night Football. Obviously, the game just ended not even, half an hour ago or so. The Packers pull out the win at the very end. Kyler Murray throws the ball to A.J. Green. A.J. Green looks like he's completely lost, doesn't even turn to look for it. And Rasul Douglas picks it off for the win. 24 to, 21?
21.
Yep. Yes. So, Luke, I know you're itching. I know you're dying to talk about that. Go ahead and give us your opinion. How you feeling about this play?
So, first of all, that game took at least three to 5 years off my life. All right. nothing more, nothing less. This was the Packers' best win of the season. I think it's pretty safe to say. And it's incredible what they're doing with the amount of injuries that they have on the team, both offensively and defensively, and they continue to pile on. They piled on in this game, losing Robert Tonyan to an knee injury, losing Kylan Hill, our special teamer, our returner, to an injury, and they're still persevering. It doesn't really matter who they're putting out there. They're not missing a beat. It feels a lot like the 2019 Packers, where they had a lot of close wins They weren't really executing all the way on offense, but they were getting these close wins basically because their defense was so stout, and our defense was stout once again in this game, proving that they're a top 5 unit. I think it's safe to say, I think they rank in the top 5 right now. Aaron Rodgers was not, didn't have his greatest game, but I don't think anybody expected him to with the wide receivers that were put out there. You'd like to see Randall Cobb getting in the end zone twice. That's why they brought him back. It was for situations like that, where if a wide receiver were to go down, you're familiar, you have a familiar face, you have somebody that you could trust. And you know what? It was shown in this game. The run game was outstanding. I gotta give credit to Matt LaFleur. Matt LaFleur is 33-7 through his first 40 games as the head coach in the NFL. That's the highest winning percentage in the Super Bowl era. So congrats to Matt LaFleur. But I have to say, I need some better play calling out of Matty. I need it. I need to start seeing some runs on the goal line. I need to start seeing some runs with AJ Dillon specifically on the goal line. That is what he's meant to do on this team. And they seem to go away from that, but then they'll come back to it at times because he had 16 for 78 and he popped off a bunch of big runs in this game. Defensively, Rasul Douglas, he's been a gem ever since being signed off the Cardinals practice squad 23 days ago, which is, the story writes itself there. Getting the interception on Kyler Murray, it looked like the Cardinals were going to go down and score the game-winning touchdown. And oh my God, that was the most hyped I've been in quite a long time. I lost my voice a little bit there at the end, but we're pulling through it. We're getting through the night, and the Packers are 7-1. I think it might be safe to say that they're the best team in the NFL. Who knows?
They're definitely losing next week now.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I mean, as you said that, I was like, no, there's no way. But then I thought about it real quick, and I was like, actually, this, you got an argument. You got an argument there. There's definitely an argument. I would like to say that I'm an oracle for picking the Packers in this one and just knowing that they were going to win. Of course, yeah. But it really just came down to I trust Aaron Rodgers in these games too much. Like me and we were talking about this before we started recording, where Aaron Rodgers has been in situations where he hasn't had number 1 receivers his entire career. He's had pieces around him that were not satisfactory. Like he's had to deal with below average receivers pretty much his entire career. Like the Jake Kumeros of the world, the James Aberdarises of the world. No offense to those guys, great guys, great team players, but they're not scaring any defensive back in the league. Okay. I just felt like this was a game that Aaron Rodgers was going to win. I felt like the Cardinals were not a team that, not taking anything away from them, but I don't think they were a team that had a chance to go undefeated this year. Like this did not strike me as a team that had every piece of that roster filled. This was not the 2007 Patriots we were talking about here. This was not the 2015 Carolina Panthers. Like this was a team that, you could see some losses coming up for them, but they had a great start to the season. Yeah. I mean, AJ Dillon's a monster. That's what I got out of this game. He's a monster. I'm kind of wondering if we're seeing more of a shift because of Derrick Henry back to these north-south runners. Cause we've kind of had the shift to like these east-west shifty guys over the past 20 years. And then you had, ever since the Adrian Peterson, Marshawn Lynch, LaDainian Tomlinson, like that kind of era ended, we've gone to this kind of, the Christian McCaffreys, the Alvin Kamaras, the Saquon Barkleys, like the LaShawn McCoys, all these guys that are very shifty East-West guys. And then you got Derrick Henry just completely just blowing that up, just being the most north-south guy ever. And AJ Dillon is exactly that type of guy. And he's a monster. And they really got that thunder and lightning pair going there. I mean, these are two powerhouses. This was a really, really fun game to watch. It was a fun game to watch because you got to see a Hall of Fame quarterback at his best, just doing it with none of the pieces around him and just finding a way to win. Probably the funniest sack I've ever seen in my life was Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, was Aaron Rodgers just staring at the ref as he goes down like this. Even though it was clearly not a horse collar, like the guy grabbed him in the middle of his jersey in the back, like he was reaching a little bit for that one, but it was really funny. This was a great game. Any football fan would have loved to watch this game. I'm glad I caught it. And yeah, I mean, Luke, your excitement is warranted because this was a terrific win for the Packers.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the biggest thing or the biggest takeaway for me from this game is that the Packers, one, are already terrifying, but then you bring back Zadarius Smith, and then you bring back David Bakhtiari, and then you bring back the guys on the defense that you're missing in the secondary, and you bring back the receivers. And like, they are just going to be, when fully healthy, and hopefully they can get to that point, will be absolutely loaded. And that's terrifying to me. They could easily come out of the NFC as the 1 seed, I think, barring any further injuries. Hopefully that doesn't happen, of course. But they look like a very good team. They absolutely deserved this win tonight. They fought for it. The run game came back in a big way in this game, and they absolutely needed that. For the Cardinals, I think you could definitely tell that they were missing J.J. Watt, and it's very unfortunate that he's likely going to miss the rest of the season. Mm-hmm. But even though he hasn't been putting up high sack numbers or anything like that, he's been pressuring the quarterback quite a bit this year. Like he's been getting in there, and he's been
most on the team, plays. Right? I believe it's the most on the team.
Yep. He's been getting in there and making plays that are nitty gritty that nobody's going to talk about. So that's a big hit for them. You felt it in this game, even with the run stoppage, you felt it a lot because Aaron Jones. I don't know why I mixed those two up just now. Aaron Jones and probably because of AJ Dillon. Those two were just tearing it up all night long. Huge win for the Packers. I agree to an extent. I think the Packers can be the best team in the NFL, absolutely. But I definitely want to see them get some of their key pieces back before I'm willing to put that on them.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, they are missing so many pieces. It's actually insane. But like I said, they just haven't been able to, or they haven't missed a beat, really. And it's just, you don't see that with, these sort of injuries. It's kind of weird. I just want to say one thing. Don't let this win distract you from the fact that the Packers have the worst fucking clock management I've ever seen out of a team. It's from opting to go for a Hail Mary at the end of the first half, like just for what? You're not going to drive down the field with a minute left. You're literally going to let 30 seconds run down so you could run a Hail Mary on 4th and 5. Crazy. And then they wasted their last 2 timeouts on that last drive that didn't result in a touchdown.
Yeah.
And they got stopped at the the first 1 yard line. Geez. And then, those timeouts came to bite them in the ass. Later on, if they scored that touchdown, I mean, they didn't leave too much time on the clock, but if you have timeouts, you maybe be able to do something. But either way, I'm going to forget about that. It's good to be 7-1, baby. It is.
Yeah. To that point, as much praise as Matt LaFleur deserves for how much he's turned this team around from the Mike McCarthy era and really I believe made them take that next step into being Super Bowl caliber again. His crucial coaching moments are kind of worrisome.
They are suspect.
Yeah, we go back to the NFC Championship game last year where he chose to kick the field goal instead of, you got the MVP of the league, go for it on 4th down, trust your MVP. In an NFC Championship game where you're handing the ball back to Tom fucking Brady. Like it just ridiculous. And then you got the clock management skills at the end of the game, which like, as anybody knows, and in the regular season games might not seem like a big deal, but come playoff time, it's going to get magnified 100 times. And you got to be able to manage that clock. Andy Reid struggled with this for a little bit in his career before he finally got Patrick Mahomes and got that Super Bowl run. He still struggles with it a little bit. I see it every freaking Saturday when Penn State plays. I mean, James Franklin doesn't know how to fucking doesn't know how to make crucial calls or manage a clock, but that I'm not going to get into that. That's a whole nother thing. But also kind of on a positive note with the Packers, I really always felt like, especially with the Packers team last year and how good their defense was, I always felt like they were a linebacker away. Blake Martinez I didn't feel like he was an amazing player, but he just racked up a bunch of tackles, which, seems like it seems like a ragging on him because obviously tackles are great, but it's kind of like batting average in baseball. You got to kind of look at it in depth. Like, a guy can have a great batting average, but like, when is he getting those hits when guys are on base? Yeah. Like Blake Martinez, we're seeing what kind of player he is with the Giants. All right. He's a good player, but he's not, an all pro Bowl caliber player. Devondre Campbell really seems like he was that last piece for this defense to really just take that next step into being like a top 5 unit. Like you said, they are in the NFL. This defense is scary because you go back to the Niners Packers NFC Championship game where the Niners just ran all over them. The Bucks last year, Bucks were able to run on them a little bit. Now you're not really running on the Packers. You're not. Like I know. I believe the Cardinals running backs got all 3 touchdowns in this game.
Yeah,
but they didn't get any yards. I think it was 50 yards between the both of them.
Yeah,
between
it was just like goal
James
line
Conner.
runs.
Yeah,
yep,
between
52.
James Conner and Chase Edmonds. This Packers defense is scary, and I feel like that has to do a lot with the Devondre Campbell signing. I feel like that was definitely the last piece.
100%.
Yeah, totally agree with that. 7-1.
Mhm.
Wait, who is that one lost to again? Remind me. Real quick.
Oh, the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah,
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy that like you're gonna look back at this team like years from now and be like, they lost.
Be like, what the fuck happened?
They lost by 35 in week 1. Like what? Weird NFL season, man.
All right, boys. Are you ready for the Halloween stuff? Are we ready for the treats?
Freaking lootly. Let's do this.
All right,
go.
boys. The way we're going to do this is it's random rankings. If you're listening or you have listened to us before, you are probably familiar with this. We're going to do Halloween candy. We're going to give you our best 3 and our worst 3.
Mm-hmm.
Jake, if you'd like to start us off, we're going to start with the best. Give us your top 3 Halloween candies.
I'll break out some candy here. Hold on.
All right.
There we go.
Gotta
What flavor we got there? Cherry?
Cherry. Classic.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Can't go wrong.
All right. So I'm going to go with my top 3 first. Sorry, on a positive note. Everybody loves Halloween. I just want to give an honorable mention to Snickers. Very tough decision not to put Snickers on this list. I freaking love Snickers. It is my go-to, if I'm on the run, need to grab something at like the gas station or something just to eat, I'm going to grab a Snickers bar. Like that's my go-to. I love Snickers. And number 3, we go Kit Kat. Kit Kat. I feel like Kit Kat is how do I put this? It's the Phillip Rivers of candy. Like it's always top. It's always up there. It's always up there. You can always count on it. It's delicious, but it's never going to be anybody's number 1.
You're pulling a Colin Coward right now. What is going on?
It's great, but its special team sucks.
Exactly. It doesn't have that next level of just greatness behind it. It's a solid candy. It's delicious. I will pick up a Kit Kat and eat it at any point, but it will never be my favorite. So I'm going to Kit Kat is at number 3. And number 2, I'm going to have
real quick. Are we breaking it or are we biting it?
Am I a psychopath?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know. That's why I'm asking the hard hitting questions here.
All right.
We can continue the podcast.
Anybody that bites it. Yeah. If you know anybody that bites it, report them to your local police because that is illegal.
Have you had the new Fruit Loops Kit Kat, by the way? They have a new Fruit Loops Kit Kat.
That sounds disgusting.
It does.
Ooh.
It does. And I am somebody that loves the sugary cereals, and that sounds absolutely horrid to me. And number 2, I'm gonna have Skittles. Beast Mode, love them. I love them. Everybody loves them. Skittles are delicious. Grab a bunch of them, throw them in your mouth. Can't go wrong. Love me some Skittles. Number 1, just the Mona Lisa of candies, the greatest candy ever created. And if you don't agree, I mean, you're just wrong. Like, I'm sorry. I know opinions are, a personal decision, but you're just wrong if you don't have this, as the best candy of all time. It's Reese's peanut butter cups.
Yep.
Like if you don't love a Reese's peanut butter cup, there's something wrong with you. I can't trust you as a person. We will not be friends. That's just how this goes. The Reese's peanut butter cup is my favorite candy of all time, and it will always be my favorite candy of all time. And therefore it is the greatest Halloween candy you could ever get.
You can't beat it.
The only argument that people could try to make is like a peanut allergy, because of the peanut butter.
Yeah. But even then,
there's no better way to go out, in my opinion.
Exactly.
Fuck it, right?
Suck it up. Okay.
Exactly.
Just don't be allergic. I don't understand where the issue is.
They're missing out on a key part of just life.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Just if you fucking grow up.
If you are allergic to peanuts, grab your EpiPen. I don't care. Grab your EpiPen have 911 dialed, and eat a peanut butter cup. I promise you it will be worth it. It'll be worth the ride to the hospital. Maybe have somebody drive you. Those ambulance rides are expensive, but I'm just saying it is worth it. I promise you, people out there with a peanut allergy, if you're going to try it, I mean, it's the best candy to try it with.
There's no doubt. We have similar lists, Jake. I'm not gonna lie. 3, I also have Kit Kats. You did get all Colin Coward on us, compared it to Phillip Rivers. I'm not gonna go quite that far. I'm just gonna say Kit Kats. I mean, you can't go wrong. Maybe not the Fruit Loop Kit Kats. Have you guys had the mint ones either? The mint ones are fire.
I've had the mint ones. The mint ones are good. I will say the mint ones are good.
Mint and chocolate goes well together. Yeah, I can't get fruity with it though.
Does go together. I don't know why people hate the fact that mint and chocolate, like mint chocolate chip, people just despise.
Delicious.
Absolutely delicious. One of the best ice creams. Way better than fucking lemon ice cream. I'll tell you that. So
calling people out now.
That was a shot at somebody in particular.
My bad.
I don't know who that was a shot at.
My bad, Bladen. But mint chocolate chip is by far the superior ice cream. At number 2, I have Reese's. All right. I know it's not going to be number 1. I know that's probably going to disappoint some people, but Reese's, you can't top it. It is by far the best chocolate just on the market, really. And if you, like we've been talking about, if you have a peanut allergy, you are definitely missing out because Reese's are what makes me look this chubby, guys. And I'm not like, and it's Halloween time right now. I mean, who knows? Yeah, number 1, I got
relatable.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Reese's, let's be honest. And then number 1, I have Starburst. Starburst has been my favorite candy since I was a kid. Starburst, with the exception if you get 2 yellows in the same pack. Just sorry.
That's why
you know it's gonna be a terrible day if you start your day off with a pack of 2 yellows in the Starburst packs.
Wait, are you having Starburst for breakfast? Is that what you're saying right now? If you're starting your day with Starburst?
Well, I mean,
are you starting your day with Starburst, Luke?
I'm not. But if you're starting your day off, if you so happen to be,
he's just starting.
If you are,
you know what? This brings me to another point. I had a 9 a.m. class today. I'm driving at 8:30 in the morning. There's a construction worker drinking a Pepsi. Who's drinking Pepsi at 8:30 in the morning?
Who's drinking Pepsi in general?
That's true. Drink a Coke. Grab a Coke if you're going to drink a cola. And 8:30? Are you crazy? Like, I understand, like, okay, maybe you don't like coffee and you got to get your caffeine, but soda in like anywhere before noon is just insane to me. I classify that as mentally unstable if you're drinking soda before noon, especially 8 a.m. I couldn't even fathom that.
With the only exception,
I think, is like 11:30.
Yeah,
or like lunchtime,
early lunch,
lunchtime, or if it's like 2 a.m. and you have like a rum and Coke or something like that.
That's fine.
It's a mixed drink.
Yeah, you just like haven't gone to bed yet.
Yeah. So,
Anyway.
Real quick, what's your guys' favorite Starburst? Which one? What color?
Oh, pink.
Pink.
Yeah, I was pink.
All right, we're all in agreement there. Red, close second.
Red is a close second.
Any of the shades of red, you're doing pretty good.
Yeah. Except for the fruit punch ones. I don't know if you had the fruit punch ones.
The fruit punch ones are weird.
Yeah,
like, I'll eat them.
I'll
eat them. Definitely the worst shade of red you can get, though.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. But that's why you got to get the favor reds. If you're getting Starburst. That way you just completely eliminate yellow. The possibility
I literally
of getting
just got
yellow.
those in the mail today.
Yeah, exactly.
It's funny.
Okay. On to mine now. We got off on a little bit of a tangent there.
Let's hear it.
At number 3, my thought process throughout this was like, I'm at the door. I'm like 8 years old, trick-or-treating. And they put it in my bag, and I'm like, yep, that's good shit. And I feel like number 3 might be a little bit controversial. We'll see. I like dots.
Gage,
dots are
I
good.
swear to God. Oh, shit. Oh, my gosh. No.
I just fucked up.
No.
I like dots, bro. They're good.
I don't hate it, but like top 3.
Oh,
top 3.
Dots.
Oh,
all right.
Oh my
I'm sorry.
That just gave Jake chills.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
I'm gonna just move past that. I don't think
Yeah.
I need to elaborate at all.
Yeah.
At number 2, I have Twix. I'm a big caramel guy. I like Twix.
Fair.
Good
choice.
That's like you were
Save
saying about
yourself.
Snickers, Jake. If I go to
Yeah.
the gas station or something, I'm grabbing Twix.
Yeah.
And then at number 1, we share the same one spot as I kind of figured we would. Reese's is just amazing. It's just so good.
Yeah.
And I don't think I need to reiterate the whole peanut allergy thing. You know how I feel about you.
Yeah.
Get over yourself. On to the worst 3. Luke, if you'd like to start us off on this one, I'm very interested to hear these.
So at 3, I think this counts because when I did go trick-or-treating, I would get these often, like way more often than I should have been. Little bags of like party pretzels. Those are the absolute worst. If you give those out, you are just the worst type of person, and I'd want nothing to do with you. You're giving out pretzels, really? Come on, do better.
Some candy. Yeah.
Do better. Not much better than pretzels. I have Tootsie Rolls. I fucking despise Tootsie Rolls, and the little ones are fine. Like the big ones, the big like
long ones.
Yeah, the big logs, like those are disgusting. Can't do with Tootsie Rolls. I like the what is it called, like the strawberry and like the vanilla ones,
the
like
fruity ones.
ones.
The fruity ones. Yeah.
I like those. Those kind of like Starburst.
Those are basically just Starburst. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a big taffy. I'm a big taffy guy.
Yeah.
And at number 1, the absolute worst candy known to man. I don't want to hear anything about it. Whoppers. Whoppers could go to hell. Whoppers are disgusting. Whoppers are literally eating balls of chalk. And when you put them out in just room temperature, anything more than like 35 degrees, they're melting. They're melting. They're sticking together. It's the most disgusting thing I've ever had. When they come in the little packs of 5, it makes me not want to go trick-or-treating anymore. Oh, and my mom used to get like the big cartons full, like the milk cartons full of Whoppers for like Easter and stuff.
Ones,
yeah. So definitely my least favorite candy of all time. I don't think there's another answer you could put other than Whoppers being the all-time worst.
There is one.
There's some bad
ones.
I feel like we're just unveiling childhood trauma.
It's amazing.
It's deep stuff.
It's amazing how much candy like has an effect on just how you grew up. Like, I'm gonna get to this anyway. All right. So for my worst, number 3, I got Heath bars. If you straight up give me a Heath bar, are you like seriously? Like, come on, just give me a Snickers at that point. They're basically like, Heath, by far the worst logo in candy history. Sure. Look at a Heath logo and tell me you're craving candy. You can't. It looks like you're eating bread. The Heath logo looks like a bread logo. That's what it looks like. It's got wheat on it. Why? It's chocolate. I don't want to be looking at wheat when I'm eating a chocolate. It's stupid. I hate Heath. Anyway, moving on to number 2, I got Gage's favorite, which is Dots. Or one of his favorite, which is Dots. Dots. Speak about chalky. I didn't know you can make a gummy candy chalky. Dots found out a way to do that. It absolutely blows my mind how like the consistency of Dots. I know all candy is fake, but you eat Dots and I'm like, this is next level of fake. I feel like I'm eating plastic right now. Like it's just disgusting. And then the residue it leaves in your mouth, and the boxes give me nightmares. Just like if you threw Dots in my bag as a kid, I'm not coming back to your house. Like you need to get some better shit, because that's just a slap in my face if you gave me Dots. But then there's that. Now I understand why, because there's people like Gage that enjoy that shit. And the number 1, I feel like this is going to be pretty controversial, because I feel like the people that like this specific thing is like a cult. Almond Joy. I cannot get behind Almond Joy. I'm sorry.
Like Almond Joy too.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry.
I like coconut.
Coconut. That's what I mean. Coconut is something that I feel like people that like coconut, it's like a cult of them. Like they're just like,
it's kind of like an acquired taste.
It is. I couldn't get
it's
behind
a texture
it.
thing for sure.
Yeah. I'm not judging people if you like Almond Joy because this is not like the Dots situation. But it's the candy that I despise. I can't eat. Like I could eat a Heath bar. Like I could, if I'm desperate, I'll eat Dots. But I just won't eat an Almond Joy. I always I give it to my mom. I'm like, here, have them. I'm not touching them. Because I just don't. It's too much coconut. And then you're throwing almonds in there, and it's just I don't like it. I really don't like it. I don't enjoy coconuts. That's just me. But I absolutely hate Almond Joys.
I will advocate for both of those. I'm not saying that Dots or Almond Joys are in my top 5 or even top 10, but I can stand them. I think they're just mid for me. I feel like they're just pretty average.
That's fair.
I mean, I did have a similar childhood in the way that I would give them the Almond Joys to my mom after taking them out of my bag.
Yeah.
But nowadays it's like, meh, Almond Joys. I don't mind them,
Yeah.
I like coconut. And I will say, of all of the nuts that you could choose, almonds are like a bottom tier nut.
Yeah.
I don't want a fucking almond.
Oh, the Ferrero Rochers, like
the Ferrero Rochers are really good though. Oh. Yeah, those slap.
Mm-hmm.
All right, my bottom 3, and I feel like I kind of went off the rails a little bit here because it's not candy. At number 3, I've got gum. Don't give me fucking gum on Halloween.
I kind of like.
I don't want the. No. I don't
want
know
if that counts. I don't know if that.
Don't think
Listen,
so?
all right. If pretzels count, then I think all right, that's fair.
I feel like this is a list. It's just a list of like what you don't want to be handed when you're trick or treating.
Okay,
like that's what this is. Yeah,
it's everything you've been handed, the candy when itself, but just like when you go trick or treating, I don't want these items.
Yeah,
these don't give us.
Exactly. Yeah.
if you don't like that one, you're definitely not going to like my number 1 because I went far off here. At number 2, I've got pixie sticks. Because fuck pixie sticks. It's a little paper tube full of just straight up sugar. And if you get the end of it wet at all, you are not getting any more out of it because it just closes up and will not open back up. It's a pain in the ass. You're not giving me candy. You're giving me a fucking chore. Thank you. Leave it. And then at number 1, just kind of generally, just non-candy items. I am coming out for candy. Don't give me fucking popcorn. Don't give me a toothbrush. Don't give me pretzels. I don't want any of that. Or like, no, I want candy. I want something that's going to rot my teeth out. I don't want something that is going to better my dental health.
Yep. All right.
Although I will say there was this one house in my neighborhood. Everybody knew it. It was this old couple that would just hand out dollar bills instead of candy.
Yeah.
That is the only acceptable non-candy item. You were getting me like, yes, it was $1. Like $1 is not getting you much, but like as an 8-year-old being handed $1, like that was like, holy shit, I can buy a song on iTunes with this or buy an app. Like, oh my gosh, like this is great. Like,
remember when we had to pay for songs on iTunes? That's crazy.
Oh my God.
Who would have thought?
And music videos.
Yes. Yeah, that weird times.
Strange. Weird times.
Like, yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Wait.
Okay, go ahead.
How are we feeling on candy corn? There seems to be a big controversy. Big controversy surrounding candy corn.
I will pound my fist. I will take this to my grave. I will die on this hill that candy corn is good. Candy corn is good, people. Now listen, I actually don't mind the hate for it because everybody in my house hates it. But my mom buys it every year. My mom doesn't even eat it. But more for me. I will eat that entire bag. I know is only going in my stomach. Like nobody else is touching it. It is all mine. And I love that. That's why I love when you go like, you go to your grandparents' house, you go to a friend's house that has that dish of candy corn laying out.
Yep.
Never touched. People hate on candy corn like they hated on Nickelback. I know I'm doing this again. Nickelback was not that bad. Like, I don't know where this...
It's like a trend almost.
It is. Yeah. And I feel like the same thing is happening for candy corn. Candy corn is not that bad, and you cannot tell me that is actually as bad as you're describing it is. I love candy corn, and I'll take that. I'll stand on that hill till the day I die.
I don't feel as strongly about candy corn. I will say that. I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. It's one of those things that I can only have so much of at a time. You know what I mean? Like I can't sit there and eat the whole bag or anything. I can like grab a handful, eat it, and then I won't have another handful for like 2 or 3 days because I just can't handle that much sugar all at once. But yeah, I think it gets way too much hate as well. I love the Nickelback comparison. That's like perfect. People just love to hate it for no reason just because it's popular. But yeah, I'm fine with candy corn.
I am a huge advocate for candy corn. I will say chocolate candy corn is disgusting. I don't know if you ever had it.
I've never even heard that.
They have chocolate candy corn. It's gross.
Sounds gross.
Yeah, regular candy corn is good. I don't like. There's nothing to really hate about it. It's like it's just sugar. Honestly, that's all it really is. Did you ever get the pumpkin candy corns? Like the big
those are too much.
Those are too much. I will agree. Yeah. That's too much. I need the tiny pieces. I can't do the pumpkins.
I loved those as a kid, and then as I grew up, I started becoming less of a fan of them. But candy corn definitely is way better than people give the credit for. I don't have an NFL comparison. Let's just move on.
Sounds good. So if you're still listening, this is a sports podcast, and we are going to get back into some sports now and talk about NFL Week 8. Obviously, we just had the first game that we talked about earlier with Thursday Night Football, Packers versus Cardinals. But we're going to get into the Sunday and Monday slate, starting with Panthers at Falcons. So, Luke, if you want to start us off, give your opinion and your winner on that one, you can go right ahead.
So the Falcons are just starting to realize that they have Kyle Pitts on their football team, which is cool. Really, really good for my fantasy team. The Panthers did not look great against a pretty terrible team in the New York Giants last week. They looked worse, actually. I can't even give them that. They looked like a terrible football team, and Sam Darnold got benched, which is not what you want to see. Maybe we'll have Deshaun Watson by next week. And I don't know why I said we. Maybe they'll have Deshaun Watson by next week, but I have a vendetta against the Falcons. I cannot pick them. I know it's going to hurt me. It hurt me last week when I picked the Dolphins over them. I can't pick them. They lost me my survivor pool week 1 when they got blown out by the Eagles, and they cost me money. So I'm out to get them this year. I'm out to jinx them this year. And you know what? I'm also going to jinx the Atlanta Braves as well while we're at it, just to create so much chaos. Wow. So I'm going to go with the Carolina Panthers. I think their defense is stout. They're getting a little bit banged up, but it's nothing that they haven't dealt with before. I think they are the better team than the Falcons. Falcons are at home, though. I'm going to pick the Panthers.
But aren't you – so you're trying to jinx them?
Yeah.
So wouldn't you want to pick them to jinx them?
No. I will never – I cannot – I legally cannot pick them this season.
Well, if that's how jinxing works, because then you're –
I think so. Especially because you are known for your curse.
Yeah.
I feel like you have to pick the Falcons every week if you want to.
Exactly.
I don't know. I'm on a roll with this Thursday night game. I gotta try and be perfect.
All right, Luke's like over the moon right now. Luke's on another planet right now. He can't cut. He's not coming down until like our next episode.
Absolutely not.
All right, guys. I'm willing to say that I am a dumbass for saying that Sam Darnold would win the NFL MVP this year. Obviously, let's give it some context because people love to not give it context. I said it during a hot take segment. Okay. That's never talked about. Okay. It was supposed to be hot takes. All right. But yeah, I'm going to wave the white flag on that one. It's not happening. He looked atrocious. No, I'm giving up on it. That was a terrible game. It's the Giants. Like, come on. You got to be able to perform against the fucking Giants. Yeah, it was abysmal. He got benched for PJ Walker in the fourth quarter. Like I love PJ Walker, XFL MVP, but that's kind of embarrassing, Sam. Sorry. But I'm gonna. I don't know this game. I mean, the odds are basically like tied right now with ESPN on Matchup Predictor. It's that I I don't think the Atlanta Falcons are good enough to win 2 in a row. So I'm going to go with the Panthers in this one. I believe the Panthers are getting Stephon Gilmore this game. If I'm not mistaken.
Certain. He returned to practice this past week.
Yeah.
I believe he will be playing in this game.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that's a huge boost for that defense. That's already really good.
Mm-hmm.
Literally all Sam Darnold has to do against one of the easiest defenses in the league is not fuck up, which like
just hand the ball off.
Just
hand the ball off.
Literally just give it to Chuba Hubbard. I know he's not amazing, but he'll make sure you don't fuck up. Like just, I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to take the Panthers in this one. I just don't think the Falcons are good enough to win 2 games in a row.
If the Panthers had Christian McCaffrey, then I think I would probably go with them in this game, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. The Panthers' run defense has been pretty suspect as of recently, and as we all know, Cordero Patterson is having one hell of a season. He's doing it all for them. And then, as you mentioned, Luke, the emergence of Kyle Pitts has been something else. So even though they're getting Stephon Gilmore, I really think that this Falcons team is going to outperform. I don't trust Sam Darnold enough to not make mistakes. But Jake, I do have to apologize to you. I will say that you made a point against the Vikings that receivers were dropping balls all over the place. Currently, the Panthers receiving group has the most dropped passes in the league. So I apologize for that because I was like, I just can't believe that. But apparently it is the case. Sam Darnold is still no way in hell going to win MVP, but I am going to go ahead and stick with the Falcons in this one.
That's a weird stat
Next
too
up.
with DJ Moore. DJ Moore and all the receivers that they have on their team.
Yeah, Robbie Anderson just like fell off.
Robbie Anderson fell off a cliff
this season.
Yeah.
And they had a previous connection because of being on the Jets.
But did they though? But did they?
That's true. The Jets doesn't really facilitate any connections, let's say. By the way, I do want to correct myself. If the Falcons win this game, it would be 3 in a row. And I definitely don't think the Falcons could win 3 in a row. So they have
been playing trash teams, though.
They have.
You do have to throw that out there.
The Jets and the Dolphins. So
yes,
doesn't get worse than that.
Not exactly impressive.
Yeah.
Next up, we have got another matchup that is going to be something else. So, Jake, if you want to start us off with the Eagles at Lions.
Oh my gosh, Jesus Christ! All right, no, fuck it. I'm taking. This is the Lions' first win of the season, right here. Mark it down. If you have Jalen Hurts in fantasy, yeah, he's going to pad his stats in the fourth when they're down, 14 points, because he always does. And he's going to make himself look good on paper. But, during the actual 3 quarters of the game, he's probably not going to look great. Jared Goff, another one. Just don't fuck up. Just don't make any. I mean, honestly, if you had to give me a decision between Jared Goff and Sam Darnold,
I'm going Goff 100%. I'm not.
I think I would too. I think I would go Goff. Because Goff really doesn't lose you a lot of games. Like he really doesn't make that many stupid plays. Like he just doesn't have the talent to make the plays that can really win you games. Whereas Sam Darnold has the talent, he just makes terrible decisions. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Lions in this one. Dan Campbell all the way. Give me that run, DC. Yeah, I'm all for the Lions. I'm on the Lions bandwagon on this game.
I don't know, man.
Oh, come on.
The Lions bit me last time I picked them against the Bengals. But then again, I don't think we really knew how good the Bengals were at that point.
Yeah. We hadn't accepted them for what they were just yet.
Yeah. I'll go with the Lions here. I'll go with the Lions. I think they're a really well-coached football team. That being said, they just haven't been able to put together. They don't have a lot of talent on this team. Let's be honest. But you know what? I think I'm gonna expect a big game out of DeAndre Swift, out of Jamal Williams, out of that run game. I think Jalen Hurts is gonna have a really good game as well. This might be a low-key shootout. Not a lot of defense to be found in Detroit or Philadelphia. And that includes the Philadelphia 76ers with a lack of Ben Simmons, but that's nor here nor there. Give me the Lions.
3 for 3, boys. We're doing it again. Riding the Lions all the way. Hopefully they don't screw us over again. Yeah. I do think that this could be their one win this season. Get a high draft pick, start to build on that offense that needs some help, that defense that very much so needs some help. And I think that they could be a good team going forward. go ahead and mark it down. Lions in this one.
Hey, 10-7 is still in the picture. Come on.
You're not wrong.
Let's go, Detroit.
I can't deny that. Next up.
That's true.
Next up, we've got the Patriots at the Chargers coming off a bye week. Luke.
I just don't think the Patriots have a good enough team to compete with the Chargers. I think the Chargers are still a little bit overrated. I think because they got that big win over the Chiefs, we kind of skyrocketed them in like through our power rankings. They're, best in the AFC, yada, yada, yada. Was not the case last week or against the Ravens. Yeah, I'm going to pick the Chargers in this game though. I know Mac Jones just put up like 54, 53 up on the Jets, the most points that they've given up. I think is it ever in franchise history or in the Super Bowl era? Might have been. It might have been the Super Bowl.
I don't know.
Anyways, yeah, I think Justin Herbert is definitely better than whatever they faced last week between why can't I think of his name? Zach Wilson and Mike White. So yeah, give me Jay Herbo and this Chargers offense to go off. Mike Williams hasn't been producing all too much the past couple of weeks, but I'm sure that'll change pretty quickly.
He's been dealing with a knee injury, but as far as the injury report today, he was a full participant the past couple of days. So,
gotcha.
This is a really interesting game. It's in LA, not that they have home field advantage or anything. But oh man, I hate picking against Bill Belichick, but man, this Chargers team is talented. And I need to remember that it was the Jets last week. And that really, that's basically a college team. Yeah, I'll go with the Chargers in this one. Watch this be the game that the Patriots win. And even though I've been picking them pretty much every game all year. Yeah, give me the Chargers. They're stacked. So
yeah, I'm going to take the Chargers in this one too. I think that the Chargers will win, but I think the Patriots will keep it somewhat close, at least early. I think Damian Harris is going to have a big game because the Chargers' run defense is bad. We talked about it before when they were going to go up against the Ravens, but it's like horrible. I think shout out to Theo. He tweeted this, and I haven't fact checked it, but he said that the gap between the Chargers' run defense, which is 32nd in the league, dead last, to 31st is the same amount as the gap between the 31st ranked and the 17th ranked. That is how bad they are. Like, it is a huge drop off. So I think Damian Harris is going to have a good game. I think that their run game is going to get going for sure. Maybe open up a little bit of play action. I think it'll be a close game, but I'm taking the Chargers as well. Next, we have got the Buccaneers at my New Orleans Saints. I'm going to go ahead and start this one off.
Go ahead.
Man, it's so tough. It's so hard. I mean, I want to pick us so bad because I know that we play well in division for the most part, aside from our stinker against the Panthers early in the season. But the Bucs are just so good, and we've looked so bad, especially like against the Seahawks. We barely pulled out that win, and their defense isn't that great. And I'm taking the Bucs. I have to do it. Call me disloyal, whatever. If I get the pick right, then whatever, that puts me a little further in the lead, I guess. If I get the pick wrong, then we won. So win-win situation for me, I suppose. But I'm going to take the Bucs in this one. I just can't trust our receiving core right now.
Did somebody say Jameis revenge game? Is that what
I heard? That's what I heard.
Yeah, I heard it too. I mean, listen,
I would
he might
love to say that if somebody could catch the fucking ball.
That's true. That's fair. You do need people to get. There are two sides of the football. Yeah, Jameis might be eating some W's. It won't be this Sunday though, because it's going to definitely be the Buccaneers that are winning this game. I mean, I watched the same Monday Night Football game that everybody else did. I was a little bit focused on the other team that looked like shit, but Saints looked a little less like shit. So yeah, this team, I mean, this Bucs team is like all time great. And, they did lose Antonio Brown for a little bit. But they're so freaking deep at receiver that they're not even going to miss him at this point. I know Tom Brady will miss his man crush, but he's going to be fine without him. Leonard Fournette, again, it just continues to dominate in that run game. And he's a big boy. Like, it's very hard to stop him. But if DeMario Davis has anything to say about that, then the Saints have a shot if they could stop. Saints have a shot in this game. I think it's not going to be a blowout, but I do think the Buccaneers are going to come out on top.
Did you guys see what Tom Brady said in one of the newest press conferences about the 600th game or touchdown ball, where he was like, "Oh, Mike Evans forgot to give me the he accidentally gave the ball away to the fan. Maybe I'll accidentally not throw him another touchdown for the rest of the season." I second that. I think that's a really good idea, Tom. I have no reason to believe the Saints can win this game. I'm going to pick the Saints to win this game.
Wow.
I like what I saw out of their defense. Demario Davis has been playing ridiculous, out of his mind. This front seven is getting pressure. And it showed last week, especially up against Geno Smith. They was pressured pretty much every single play. This defense, I think, is the strength of this team. I think, would you say the same, Gage?
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, I mean, we need Michael Thomas back for sure. Mm-hmm. And I did notice something, and I don't know if they maybe know something that I don't, but on the ESPN fantasy app, at least, Michael Thomas is projected to have points for the first time that he has all season.
Yeah. Yes, he is. Yeah.
Okay.
So he may or may not be coming back. I haven't heard anything. If he is, then I think that we have a pretty good shot to win this game. But my biggest concern is just Jameis having somebody to throw the ball to.
I see the latest update from 8 hours ago. The Saints officially opened Thomas's practice window last week, but he hasn't actually returned to the practice field. So it's still unknown at this point. The receivers for the Saints are a big question mark. Traquan Smith was throwing the game, maybe throwing the game away a little bit there. Jameis, scolding him on the sidelines. But the Bucs, not only is their secondary injured as hell, they have Richard Sherman as their defensive backs coach. He has the headset on. Their run game did not look good against Khalil Herbert last week, and they gave up 100 yards rushing and a touchdown. So I believe did they give up a touchdown? They definitely gave up 100 yards rushing.
Yeah.
I think that the Saints defense can hold the Bucs to some punts, to some fourth down stops. And we're gonna get another saga in the Mike Evans, Marshawn Lattimore story. I'm excited for this football game. I think the Saints come out on top. Have some faith in your team, Gage. Come on.
I know. It's just so hard on this short week after the Monday night game.
Yeah,
it's just tough, bro.
I get it. I mean, you're 4-2 with nothing though. Like that's a pretty good place to be in.
I really feel like we're in somewhat of a similar situation, like we were talking about the Packers earlier. If we can just get these guys back, like I think that we'll be a really good team. Like we're getting David Onyemata back from suspension this week, our D tackle. So I think that we can definitely get pressure. I like what Luke's saying about our defense. It's just I don't know who we're gonna throw the ball to. If we don't make a trade for a receiver before the deadline, I'm gonna fight somebody. That's
Alvin Kamara. I think he's gonna have a big
out
game.
Wide.
Yeah,
I mean, put Mark Ingram back. Yeah. Is he eligible to play? He's eligible to play, right?
Sean Payton said that he will likely play in this game.
Oh, cool.
He's only 89 yards away from being the Saints' leading rusher, too.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Alvin Kamara's gonna have something to say
Ricky
about
Williams?
The current leading rusher is Deuce McAllister.
Deuce McAllister. Interesting. I forgot about Deuce McAllister. Holy shit. Oh, that's a throwback. The three phases of the Saints: defense, special teams, and Alvin Kamara. I do want to say though, like, isn't it amazing how great players play when they're off the Jets, like with Demario Davis? Like he just he was good on the Jets, and now he's like, oh shit, this guy is all pro level good,
like Sam Darnold.
All right, maybe not offensive players, maybe like defensive players. Jets have some defensive guys. I mean, you got Revis. Jets have had a good defense.
CJ Mosley is playing really well. I will say that he's been playing really good this season, but he's not going to get any credit because he plays for the Jets and they've just been bad.
It's hard to, it's hard to get credit when you're surrounded by hot trash,
Yes, absolutely. All right. Moving on from that one. We've got another one. I don't think we even need to talk about it. We are all taking the Bills over the Dolphins. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Absolutely.
Next up, we have got 49ers at Bears. Luke.
Jesus.
I don't know. I feel like these teams are kind of similar in that they're not like I don't know if the general public views them as like trash or like decently good at some. I don't know. The 49ers looked bad last week, albeit it was in pouring rain, terrible conditions. But you'd like to see them win games like that, considering their offense is, pretty much built around the run game. And I know that they're not at full strength at the running back position, but still, that's what your team is built for. And they did not play well. They were uncharacteristic. Jimmy G was doing Jimmy G things. And Kyle Shanahan just didn't have his best game. I don't think so. And he hasn't been having his best season. Definitely not. This 49ers team is banged up. But do I trust the Bears? Do I trust Justin Fields? I'm not sold on Justin Fields, guys. I don't know. Some of the decision making, I think the athleticism is there. I think the potential is definitely there. But from what I'm seeing, maybe it's this Matt Nagy led offense. Maybe it's the scheme. I don't know what it is.
What if I were to tell you that Matt Nagy's out with COVID?
Who's our offensive coordinator?
Bears probably by like 15. Bears by like 15.
Bears by 15.
Bears by 15.
Fun fact about that, actually, and I don't know if this is related whatsoever. The 49ers were 3.5-point favorites, and then it came out that Matt Nagy got COVID, and then they were only 3-point favorites. Because they think the play calling is going to be better without him.
Hey,
that's actually really funny.
Gotta love that.
Freaking funny.
Yeah, Bears by 1 million, actually. Give me 1 million.
Yeah. Let's see here. Can you give me their offensive coordinator? Bill Lazor. Bill Lazor. Lazor. Okay. I don't know who
Lazor.
Lazor, yeah.
Lazard.
French. I agree with the whole Justin Fields. It just seems like Bears fans are making a ton. Like, I love the Peyton Manning comparison that everybody breaks out whenever a rookie quarterback is sucking. It's the instantaneous, just like, hey, Peyton Manning sucked his rookie year. Okay. Now list me the 100 other quarterbacks that sucked their rookie year and didn't recover from it. Let's look at them. No, but
he kind of didn't though. Like he threw a lot of interceptions, but otherwise, like, he played well.
He did. Like agree. He had to play hero ball on that team.
Yeah.
Like, that team was terrible. That team was 3-13. Like, that team was bad. So, and he had to play hero ball on it. He was the best player on that. I mean, I don't think they have Marshall Faulk yet. So I don't think they did. I don't think they have Marshall Faulk yet. Wait, no, they did. They had Marshall Faulk. All right. Anyway. But yeah, he was one of the best players on that team. And they were trusting a rookie like, hey, we're giving you everything, just go out there and try to win. They didn't give him any, limitations or anything. They're just like, throw the ball. That's why he had so many damn interceptions. But yeah, the Justin Fields thing, I understand why the excuses are getting made, because the guy, I mean, anybody somebody with one eyeball could see his freaking talent. Like, it's so evident how talented this guy is. But there's a blessing and a curse that comes with having that much talent. And it's the fact that you can kind of cruise by a lot of levels of competition without having to actually learn how to play quarterback, if you know what I mean. Like, high school, I mean, this guy could have freaking never even watched film and he would have been a 5-star recruit. Like, college, yeah, all right, it's a little tougher, but other than that, when you got 2 top 10 picks as your receivers and Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave, like, you're gonna be fine. And then, but in that system, he was a one-read quarterback. Like, this was one of my concerns. The video I put out where everybody was like, oh my God, you're criticizing Justin Fields. How dare you? He's in the second coming of Christ. But like, yeah, I criticize his throwing motion. His throwing motion has gotten better. I will say that. They coached him up. He fixed it. All right. That's no longer an issue that I'm seeing, at least. But he's still trying, one of my other concerns was his one read. He was a one-read quarterback in college. If you watched his film, it was so obvious. He would just watch. He wouldn't even look. He would not even look. I could count like on one hand how many times he went through his progressions in college. It was 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh shit, I'm getting chased. Now I'm going to look. He gets stuck on his reads. He's not used to having to go through your progressions and in the speed of a game like the NFL. It's a lot different. His accuracy is really just kind of suspect. That's the one thing that's making me worry. It's like he's not even really being accurate with the ball. But yeah, I will give him this year to suck. All right. He's a rookie. You can have that excuse. But if he's still not doing great next year, then we're going to have this discussion. But I'll give him a pass. Anyway, about my pick. I'm going to go with the Bears in this game just because the really only advantage I see the 49ers having is their run game. And I don't think they're going to have that much success against this Bears defense. Because as you know, as suspect as the Bears are as a whole team, like their defense has always been solid. I mean, it's going to be when you have Akeem Hicks and Khalil Mack rushing you every.
Khalil Mack will be out for this game.
He will be. Still though. I just the Bears defense. Roquan Smith is coming up though. Like it's very good run defense. Yeah. So I'm going to go with the Bears in this game. I think it's going to be a trash can of a game. Like this is going to be abysmal football. It's going to be, I think it's going to be in comparison to the Monday Night Football game between the Saints and the Seahawks. So I will be avoiding this game at all costs. I think the final score, I know we're not giving final score predictions, but I think it's going to be like 14-11. I think it's going to be some weird shit that happens in this game, probably like a safety or something. But yeah, this game's going to be terrible, but I got the Bears irking it out. Like just by the skin of their teeth.
I was also going to take the Bears. I was thinking at least because I feel like there is a chance in this game, especially with as good as their run game has looked with Khalil Herbert at the helm. I think they're getting Damian Williams back, and not that he's going to start or anything. I think they'll stick with Herbert. And I think that they'll be able to do a lot of the same kind of stuff that they have been doing, even though the 49ers front seven is pretty solid right now. Their secondary is pretty much the worst part of that defense. And like you guys were saying, Justin Fields hasn't looked fantastic. I don't know that he's going to have some breakout game and start throwing it really well, even though they're playing a rough secondary. So I think I'm actually going to switch it up, and I'm going to take the 49ers in this one just because I want to be different, just because I want to go against the grain here, and I think that they'll be able to pull it out. I think Elijah Mitchell could potentially still have a big game, even going up against this Bears defense.
He's been. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
He's looked good in the opportunities that he's gotten this season.
Yeah, for sure.
Kind of sucks that he got injured a little bit there and missed a couple of weeks, but I want to praise Khalil Herbert because I think he could be the next big no-name running back to sort of rise to fame and get a spot on a good team. I think he's probably going to be the number 2 once David Montgomery comes back. But that's a good 1-2 punch to have, David Montgomery and Khalil Herbert.
I like the idea of them being a duo for sure.
Yeah,
100%.
And I think that kind of just increases the fact that I don't think David Montgomery, if Khalil Herbert continues to do this, Khalil Herbert put up 100 yards against the Bucks last week. Like that's fucking impressive, especially with how abysmal that, like nobody's scared of the passing game in that offense. Everybody knows you're running it, and they don't have a fantastic offensive line, and he's still 100 yards rushing. Like that's fucking impressive. I didn't start him in fantasy because I thought he was going to have a terrible game. So I don't think the Bears are really going to be all that motivated if Khalil Herbert continues to do this to re-sign David Montgomery. Like, and we're getting into that era in football where like if you have that kind of like Tony Pollard type, there's really no reason. Yeah. Like if Sam could be saved with Alexander Madison, but I just think Dalvin Cook's too good that you can't really get rid of him.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know about that one. Because I feel like as much as Dalvin Cook's been hurt and stuff, I still would maybe hold on to Madison and let Cook walk. But I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Yeah.
Next up, we have got a divisional matchup in the AFC North. The Steelers are at the Browns this week. I don't know if Baker Mayfield will be playing or not. Jake, you want to start this one off?
Yeah, if Baker's not playing, this is another game that I'm just going to avoid at all costs. It's going to be terrible. But yeah, I mean, the Browns are winning this game. The Steelers are clearly in a rebuild mode. Geno Smith, they went to overtime with Geno Smith. Like if you were just wondering what the state of the Steelers was, that's the state of them right there. There's your measuring stick. Not good. Yeah, I mean, the Browns are just by far a better team, no matter how many injuries they have. The defensive side of the football is elite. I believe they're going to be getting Nick Chubb back in this game.
Yeah.
So book it. Browns are winning this game. I don't think the Steelers have a chance.
I'm going to go with the Steelers in this one. I think they're starting to build a little bit of a spark there They looked abysmal earlier in the season when they were trying to start to figure out their offense and how to use Najee Harris in the way that they want to use him. Now he's getting majority of the touches. They're starting to build an identity, and their defense, while it's not as good as it was in previous years, I don't think, especially their secondary, not been playing up to par. TJ Watt is still there. Big Ben, while he's definitely past his prime, I think it could still make some plays for you. And I think this Baker Mayfield injury is a big reason why I'm not going to pick the Browns in this game. Even if he were to play, which I think there's a good shot that he will. He did return to practice, I want to say. I'm not sold on that either way. Their offense is looking stagnant when the running game is not doing their thing, when it's not majority of Nick Chubb that doesn't have a majority of the yards. They're not looking great. So yeah, give me the Steelers in this one.
I'm going to take the Browns in this one as well. I think that Big Ben is going to wake up Monday morning feeling sore as hell, wishing he retired so that he didn't have to face Myles Garrett twice a year. Because I think Myles Garrett is going to have an absolute field day. I'm going to take him to have like 3 sacks in this game minimum. I think that he's going to go off, especially against that not hurt, but just not good Steelers offensive line. I know that they're going to want to get Najee going, and I just don't know that they're going to be able to do that against this defensive front. They might be able to get some passing going to Deontay Johnson and stuff like that because the secondary just hasn't been that great for the Browns so far this season. But I think Nick Chubb is going to come back in a big way for them, even if Case Keenum is the starter. So I'm going to take the Browns in this one as well.
Question: who do you guys have higher in the Defensive Player of the Year rankings, Trayvon Diggs or Myles Garrett?
Trayvon Diggs.
Ooh,
really?
Split.
Okay,
Yeah.
if Trayvon Diggs breaks Night Train Lane's record, then he has to win it. But in terms of just yeah, he's getting interceptions, and interceptions are important, but he is giving up yards. He's not the best corner in the he's not top 10. He's not a top 10 corner in the league.
I feel like for the reason I would go with Myles Garrett right now, you remember when Aaron Donald won his latest Defensive Player of the Year over TJ Watt, who had clearly the better season in terms of stats. I think Myles Garrett is the best defender in all of football right now, and I'd put him over Aaron Donald, at least just for right now this season.
Okay.
I think Myles Garrett is having an outstanding year. I'd probably pick him right now if it were.
Yeah, didn't he have a game with 4 sacks already?
He's leading the league right now. Oh, is he still leading the league?
I want to say he had a game of 4.5 sacks actually.
I mean, I don't know.
It's Myles Garrett with 9.5.
It's still tough though. Yes, sack numbers are very important, but if you look at the chart right now, TJ Watt leads the league in pass rush win rate, and he's second in the league in run defense win rate as well. So I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot that goes into it, and it could end up being a sticky situation like it was last year comparing things. I know we're talking about Trayvon Diggs, which is completely different, but I don't know. I feel like if Trayvon Diggs on their current pace, on their current trajectory, I think if Trayvon Diggs continues to do what he's doing, I think that he will win Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah. If Myles Garrett does have 3 sacks minimum, like you say, that'll put him at 12.5. And he will be on pace
through the season.
Yeah, that he will be on pace to break John Randall's record of 22.5.
Yeah.
Michael Strahan's record, sorry.
Yeah, Michael Strahan, yeah. Wow, that'd be impressive. If it comes down to TJ Watt and Myles Garrett again for Defensive Player of the Year and Myles Garrett wins it, bro, you better shut down Pittsburgh because those fans are gonna freaking
they're gonna
riot. Because not only is it with Aaron Donald, they don't have any rivalry, right? And it's freaking Aaron Donald. You can't just an NFL fan's gonna be like, okay, TJ Watt should have won it, but again, it's fucking Aaron Donald. It's like losing the MVP to LeBron James. It's okay, well, yeah, all right. But if it's Myles Garrett and they fucking hate the Browns, ooh, that's terrifying. Pittsburgh police are gonna have a rough night. Yep. If that happens.
All right. Moving on to the next one. We've got another divisional matchup. This time it's the AFC South. We've got the Titans at the Colts for their second matchup this year. Jake, go ahead.
Yeah, this is actually this is going to be a good game. Both these teams kind of got off the slow starts. They had their question marks. They're both kind of finding their stride at the same time. And this is kind of what we expected of these teams. They're starting to play up to their expectations, and it's making the AFC South more interesting than we thought it was going to be at the beginning of the year, because it kind of looked like for a couple of weeks there was going to be a complete dumpster fire. And it was going to be reminiscent of those NFC East, runs the last couple of years where a losing team won it. But yeah, it's tough, because if you look at the Colts, they have both sides of the football pretty much taken care of. They have the offense, they have the defense, and they're pretty good special teams, even if you want to throw that in there. Titans have a dominant offense. Their defense is terrible. And again, if you want to mention special teams is pretty good. Randy Bullock's been pretty good this year. But it's so hard for me to pick against Derrick Henry on the current pace that he's going right now. Nobody can stop him. Nobody can stop Derrick Henry right now. He is the ultimate weapon in all of football. Like we all thought Patrick Mahomes was. We all thought nobody could slow down Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is being slowed down right now. That entire Chiefs offense is being slowed down right now. Derrick Henry has been doing this shit for 3 years, dominating football, and nobody can stop him. The Titans are running the ball. The ultimate slap in the face is when they're going to run the ball and you still can't stop it.
Yeah.
That's what Derrick Henry is, just taking souls out of defensive players in every game he plays. So with that being said, I'm going to go with the Titans. Derrick Henry is just the most unfair weapon in all of football. When all is said and done, he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. And I think he's the one that gives them the edge in this game.
I'm going with the Titans for the same exact reason. Derrick Henry is the best player. I'm going to pick the best player in this game. I think the Colts are on a little bit of a run now, but I have to stick to my guns. I sort of gave up on them, and I feel like I have to stick with that. I was real high on them coming into the season, and although Carson Wentz is playing great football right now, I think the Titans are the better team, even with their subpar defense at best. I think this is going to need to be a game where Carson Wentz has to, actually sling the ball around, maybe not rely so much on Jonathan Taylor. I think Jonathan Taylor will get his yards, he'll get his touches, but I think Derrick Henry is going to be putting up a lot of points. And in order to keep up with them, it's going to have to go through Carson Wentz, Michael Pittman, and this passing offense. And I don't think they're going to be able to do that in this game. Give me the Titans.
I maybe unwisely am going to continue my love affair with the Indianapolis Colts. I had them splitting the series going into the season. I still think that they're capable of doing that, especially with the Colts hitting their stride. And Derrick Henry is the most productive running back in football right now. Jonathan Taylor is the second most productive running back in football right now. And I like the Colts defense a lot more than I like the Titans defense. And I think that's probably what it's going to come down to. Obviously, the Titans have more weapons in the passing game as far as A.J. Brown, and I believe Julio Jones will be playing in this game as well. But Michael Pittman has been showing out as well. Carson Wentz has been playing very well. They got T.Y. Hilton back. I think that they have the weapons to get it done this time around. So I'm going to take the Colts. Might come back to bite me in the ass. I guess we'll find out. Next up, I don't think we need to discuss it.
Bengals.
Yeah, Bengals. They're playing the Jets.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh,
Mike White.
You want Joe Flacco? Mike White or Joe Flacco?
That's
a championship tandem right there.
Yeah, give me Cincy. Give me Cincy.
I don't think we need to talk about this one either. Rams, Texans.
Rams, yeah.
I don't. Give me the Rams.
Is Tyrod? I think Tyrod Taylor might be coming back soon, though.
They did designate him to return. I'm pretty sure.
I think they did too.
Yeah. Even so,
do you start him at that point though? Because Davis Mills hasn't been doing awful. He actually shows.
He's expected to start.
He's expected to start. All right.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I think I still
give me the Rams by 28.
Yeah, Rams are still winning.
Yeah, I still think
doesn't change my decision.
Yeah. Come
on. Jags at Seahawks.
Oh my God. Oh Jesus.
Jake,
Christ.
you got this one.
I know you don't think. I know you don't think it's close, but I feel like it kind of is.
Do you know what I'm thinking? Do you know what I'm thinking right now? Because I'm thinking about picking the Jaguars. I'm dead ass thinking about picking the Jaguars. This team's terrible. I don't know what we're doing. Listen, if Geno Smith can't move the ball on that Jaguars defense, which is awful, then yes, go out and get. I've been a proponent for not going and getting Cam Newton because it didn't make sense to me, because by the time he learns the playbook, Russ is going to be back anyway. Mm-hmm. So what's the point? But like, this is a throwaway season. If Geno Smith can't win this game, yeah, go throw $1 million at Cam Newton. It can't be much worse. I mean, Cam Newton with 40% of the playbook is not worse than Geno Smith knowing every intricacy of the playbook. It's just terrible. No, I know this game is close. I'm very aware that this is actually a pretty tough decision here. I'm aware of that. And this is even a tough decision for me, but I am ultimately going to go with the Seahawks here because they have to win this game. And I know I've been saying that the last couple, like that they have to win this game. They have to. Playoffs out of the question. Out of the question right now. It seems like Russ isn't going to come back week 10. It might be like week 11 or so. Even Russ, I don't think could bring this team back. The defense has been playing better. They're not the worst defense in the league anymore, which is nice to see. They're like 25th now, which I mean, some improvement is great.
Getting there.
Getting there. Moving up. Only place to go was up. So that's good. Trey Brown looks good. Trey Brown looks really good. He's actually a positive on, and DJ Reed's been playing really good. But yeah, this Jags team is atrocious. Trevor Lawrence has been looking better and better each week, but also it's in Seattle. If you don't win this game, I think this pretty much just seals the deal that Pete Carroll's gone. Like this might be a keep your job type of game for Pete Carroll because it's embarrassing as hell. If you lose on home turf to the consensus worst team in football, it's sad. It is so sad. So yeah, I got to go with the Seahawks and they better fucking win this game. And if they don't talk to me for a week.
Yeah. You know, this matchup is bad when James Robinson is arguably the best player on the field in this game.
Probably.
I mean, Bobby Wagner. Yeah.
All right. Bobby Wagner. Yeah. No, change that. Bobby Wagner is the best player on this field.
Yeah, absolutely.
And not even a question.
But when he's on the sidelines, it's
yeah.
Yeah, give me Seattle. It's in Seattle. I'll pick them because of the 12s. I don't know.
Not that that's meant anything this entire year.
Yeah, but I don't know if Trevor Lawrence. That's a tough environment to play in, nonetheless. Doesn't matter if the Seahawks are bad or good. This is gonna be Trevor Lawrence's first time in Seattle. I don't know what the weather is gonna be like. I'm sure it's not gonna be great. So yeah, give me Seattle.
I'm gonna take the Seahawks in this one as well. I mean, obviously you haven't looked great. The offense is struggling to get going, but the Saints have a really good defense, and you guys still were competing with us. And I don't think the Jaguars
were we competing.
I mean,
how many passes did Geno Smith threaten you guys with? One pass to DK Metcalf the entire game. That's it. Nothing else.
Yeah, but I mean, it was close as far as score goes. But yeah, I'm still going to take the Seahawks in this one. The Jags aren't great. They beat the Dolphins, but that doesn't really do anything for me. So I'm going to take Seattle too.
I appreciate the support. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Even if it's not like outwardly boasting for you guys.
Yeah, I know.
It's support nonetheless.
Yeah. Maybe I want to lose. No, I don't, because we don't even have. I just found out this week that we don't even have our first round pick this year. So this year is literally thrown away. Throw it in the trash. We're playing for a second round pick. For a good second round pick. That's what we're playing for.
Next up, Washington football team at the Broncos.
This is tough. This is tough. Taylor Heineke looked actually not terrible against the Packers last week, which was kind of weird because the Packers defense is what's getting their team these wins. And the Broncos, I just don't know what to make of them. Teddy Bridgewater, we talked about it in a couple episodes ago. It's just not looking great. And that Broncos offense is suffering because of it. And it shouldn't be because they have a lot of talent on that offense between Javonte Williams, Melvin Gordon, Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, Noah Fant, and a pretty decent offensive line too. They should be doing better things. I think I'm going to go with the Broncos in this one. I think I'm going to go with the Broncos. Maybe this will be the game that Drew Lock comes in maybe and saves the day. Who knows? But either way, this Washington football team is not to be trusted right now, offensively or defensively. Terry McLaurin is a beast, and he should make a Pro Bowl this season. But I can't put a lot of faith in them right now. So yeah, give me Denver, and it's at home. Give me Denver.
I'm going Washington in this game. Vic Fangio has made it clear he is strapping his ship to Teddy Bridgewater, and he is going down with that shift if need be.
Yeah.
And Teddy, we've all been saying this, that Teddy's not, I mean, it's time for Drew Lock to come in, but Vic Fangio is not going to do it. I've accepted that at this point. Teddy Bridgewater was like basically on the precipice of being on a gurney in Thursday Night Football against the Browns. Like he was very, very banged up, like should not have been playing. And he still started. So that just tells you how much Vic Fangio does not want to go to Drew Lock. Yeah. Washington, Taylor Heineke. This just feels like a Taylor Heineke, game. It's going to be gutty. It's going to be ugly. And those are the games I feel like Taylor Heineke just lives for. And I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like this is going to be a fun game to watch Taylor Heineke. I feel like he's going to thrive in this environment. And I feel like Washington's got this one. The Broncos are just kind of dysfunctional to me at this point with Teddy Bridgewater at the helm.
Yeah.
Give me Washington to be competing for Matt Corral next season. I am going to take the Broncos in this one. I feel like Taylor Heineke is just mini Ryan Fitzpatrick at this point, and the highs are there, but so are the lows, and it pretty much goes week to week. He's coming off of a high. I think he's heading toward a low. I think that this Broncos defense is going to come out ready to play this week. I'm still not high on Teddy Bridgewater, just like you guys, but I think that he'll be able to do just enough to be able to compete, and I think he will get them the win in this game, even if it has to go through Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams.
Can I just say one thing about Taylor Heineke? His signature move is diving for the goal line, is diving for the posts, diving into the end zone.
Sacrificing his body.
Yeah. Last week against Green Bay, he had the worst dive attempt I've ever seen out of him, and he got down at the 1 yard line, and they couldn't get it in the end zone.
Didn't he do a Lambeau leap on a non-touchdown? It got called back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You can't do that, bro.
It's tough, but yeah, they called that one back, and their offense was stagnant because of it. That's uncharacteristic of my GOAT right there. That's all.
It's funny.
That's all.
Heading into Sunday Night Football, this one could be interesting. We've got the Cowboys at the Vikings. Jake.
Yeah, Minnesota is one of those places that kind of doesn't get enough credit for how tough it is to play there.
For sure.
Especially.
Yes. Yep.
Especially with that new stadium. Like they built the stadium to kind of how Seattle Stadium is built to make it louder. It's meant to amplify the sound onto the field. And for that reason, I really think it comes down to home field advantage. I'm going to take the Vikings in this one. I will admit another one of my wrong predictions was picking Washington to win the division. Maybe not giving up on that one yet. Not totally giving up on that one yet, because Cowboys can fall apart at any moment in very Cowboys-like fashion. But Cowboys have looked really good this year, so this is not an easy decision for me. But both of these teams are very similar in my eyes. They have similar strengths. They have similar weaknesses. But I think Dalvin Cook has a field day in this game, and I think that's ultimately the deciding factor.
I'm also going with the Vikings in this one. I feel like it's going to be Halloween night. The Halloween scaries are going to get to these Dallas Cowboys. It's going to happen at one point in the season, sooner rather than later for me. I hope that this team will fall apart. Ultimately, it's what happens every single year. This team is different from past teams, though, because their defense is much improved. Michael Parsons is doing wonders for that defense. Just as a whole, he is the clear leader, and they have an identity. So it is hard picking the Vikings here. I feel like I'm kind of just picking them because it's Halloween, and I feel like it's going to get to the Dallas Cowboys. And also, Dak is dealing with an injury right now. Is he going to play? I don't know if he's going to end up playing in this game.
I haven't seen anything saying that he's not.
He said that if it were a playoff game,
he's dealing with he was injured either.
He's dealing with a calf injury.
That's not.
He was quoted saying if it were a playoff game, he would be starting. So Dak Prescott unsure if he'll play on Sunday. So that's even more reason for me to pick the Vikings in this game. So yeah, give me Minnesota.
Despite it being Halloween, I think that the Cowboys survive this horror movie and take down the Purple People Eaters. I think that the Cowboys are more than capable of, winning it however they need to. Even if Dak Prescott doesn't play, potentially, they've got a great run game in Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard. They've got a great O-line for it to go through. They've got great receivers. So even a backup quarterback, I think, could get it to those guys. So yeah, I like the Cowboys in this one a lot. I think the Vikings are definitely fighting back for some tough wins, and they've been doing that over and over again against some somewhat lesser opponents. I don't think they'll be able to do that against the Cowboys, especially with their defense playing a lot better than we've been expecting them to. So I'm going to take the Cowboys and be the odd man out in this one.
All right.
Lastly, Monday Night Football. This one is something. Like, it's interesting to say the least. We've got the Giants at the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs are on a low. The Giants are all over the place. Luke, go ahead.
I want to pick the Giants so bad. If I were to pick the Giants, would you guys band with me like we did for the Lions a couple of weeks ago?
I was going to pick the Giants anyway, if I'm being honest. So
it's close for me. Yeah.
No, I can't do that to myself. I can't pick the Giants here. I think the Chiefs offense they're bound to explode at some point. They're bound to get back on track. I fully believe in that. I think they're just down bad early in the season. I think they're going to get their shit together. I think their defense is going to gel a little bit more as we head into the winter. I don't have enough trust in Danny Dimes. Their offense is completely banged up. Their defense is starting to get banged up now too. Jabril Peppers is going to miss the season. I think he tore his Achilles or ACL, some leg tear. Yeah, I'm not going to pick the Giants here. Give me the Chiefs. Give me Andy Reid. Give me just the Chiefs. Not Jackson Mahomes though. I will not be picking him.
Noted.
Yeah. Do you guys know who leads the Giants in rushing?
Daniel Jones.
It is Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not going to get it done. It's in Arrowhead. The Chiefs are favored by 9.5, which is way too much. That's way too much of a spread for this game. That is crazy. I would take the Giants in that all day, every day. But yeah, the Chiefs, this is kind of like the Seahawks Jaguars game to me. The Chiefs cannot lose this game. Like if they want any respect, they win this game, they're back to 500, and then they can move on from there. It's kind of like a fresh start. You lose this game and you go to, let's see here, 3-5. Yeah, that's questionable territory.
To the Giants too.
Yeah, that's embarrassing. That's kind of a like, oh shoot, like this is the game where it's kind of like, are the Chiefs really just bad this year? If you lose this game, the national media is going to come to a consensus like, oh, Chiefs are just having an off year, and let's hope it's just that. So yeah, this is kind of a must win for the Chiefs. It's weird to say that going up against an abysmal team like the Giants, but Danny Dimes is going to fight for every point he can get. And you got to be ready for that. Like you do. Like, that's why this is kind of making this a tough decision for me. Because as bad of decisions that Daniel Jones makes at times, and as sporadic as he can be, has that killer mentality. Like I've said, like he will give everything up for like 3 yards. He'll give his entire football career up for a first down like that. This is the type of guy
and he'll trip in doing so.
Yeah, exactly. So you got to be prepared for that. And at the end of the day, the Chiefs are just loaded with talent. And I think talent is enough to win this game, especially with all the injuries the Giants have had. Yeah, give me the Chiefs in this one, though. But I think it's going to be closer than we think.
You guys clearly did not see Daniel Jones catch that ball last week.
I did.
The best catch in Giants history, obviously.
Of course.
I'm going to take the Giants in this one. And I know, obviously, that's unpopular. But and the Chiefs, the teams that they have lost to, do have winning records. The Giants currently do not. But I just have this feeling. I think that Daniel Jones is going to be the best quarterback in fantasy football this week. I think that he is going to be slinging that thing. I think he's going to get a lot of yards on the ground. And I think that the Giants are going to be able to pull this one out. I think genuinely, and I want to get your opinions on this as well. I think if it weren't for all of the injuries and stuff they've been dealing with, because they've been getting it as bad as anybody as far as injuries go this year, I genuinely think that the Giants may be considered contenders right now with the way that Daniel Jones has been playing.
I would actually agree with you on that. I would say yes. This has been definitely the best year of Daniel Jones's career, and having those weapons just out. It's led to, listen, he's, like I've said, like he wants to win every game and he's going to fight for every game. Those quarterbacks who situations like this where his entire starting roster is just gone, They play hero ball, and hero ball gets you in trouble. You throw more picks, you make stupider decisions because you're just trying to make that extra play, that super amazing highlight play to get your team, to give your team that spark, give your team that edge. And it just leads to terrible things. And Daniel Jones is doing that right now. And it's making his stats look worse than he's actually playing.
I'm not touching that with a 20-foot pole. I just since 2017, the Giants have the worst record out of all NFL teams. And I don't
worse
think
than the Jets and the Jaguars. Jaguars went to the AFC Championship in 2017. Yeah,
the Giants are that bad.
Wow.
Or maybe it's since 2016. I'm not really sure. It might be since 2016 actually. But yeah, this Giants team is not good. Even if Daniel Jones is having the best season of his career, that's not really saying much. Like, let's be honest. And just the uncertainty with Saquon. Even if he does come back healthy, like, is he effective at this point? I don't really know. I don't know if with the offensive line that they have, and their defense just isn't as good as it was last year. Even if they were all healthy, I don't think it would be. So yeah. Is Bradbury having a little bit of a down year? Yeah, I don't think so.
Maybe in my opinion, it's just a little skewed after they beat us, which was unfortunate.
Is James Bradbury having a bad year, or was last year just kind of an outlier? Is it the Josh Norman type of year?
Probably.
Yeah, he definitely had like an outlier year last year rather than him just being good, and now he's I think he's just coming back down to earth.
Yeah,
exactly. I agree.
All right, TU crew, thanks so much for listening to episode 30 of the Totally Unqualified podcast. We appreciate you guys for listening. We had a great time recording this episode, and we want to wish you guys all a happy Halloween. You guys have anything to add?
Yeah, make sure to go download the Overtime app. It is sports meets social media. It's just like Twitter. It's just like Facebook or Meta now. We didn't even mention that in the episode, that Facebook changed their name to Meta, which is just, they did.
Is that today?
Yep, today. Yep, it's Meta, no longer Facebook anymore, official. So yeah, make sure to go download the Overtime app. Thank you guys so much for listening.
All right. Yeah. Learn something new every day. That's the dumbest decision I've ever heard in my life. But anyway, guys, if you don't want to be as stupid as Facebook, make sure to go follow us on all of our social media accounts, all of our Totally Unqualified accounts. I am Jake Maltese 3 on TikTok. We got Football Fan Zone. Luke, you will be changing your username. Do you want to announce it?
I will be. I'm going to hold off. I'm going to hold off.
I'm going to
hold off, but just know that it's coming, guys.
It's coming. All right. We'll teaser that. For now, he's Football Fan Zone on TikTok, and then Gage is, of course, Extra Points. Instagram is Totally Unqualified Pod. Twitter, TU Sports Podcast, and then Totally Unqualified on YouTube. Go follow us on all of those channels. And guys, have a happy and healthy and safe, especially safe Halloween.